Well, good morning, everybody. We are in the first week of July, and I have a lot of work to do. So I'm going to take you guys along, show you why I'm doing what I'm doing, kind of wrap up the series. I was wanting to make it 3 videos, but I think we're just going to go ahead and make it 2. This will be kind of the continuation of the trail camera video, but I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing, why I'm putting my trail cameras at certain spots, and what kind of success I'm having in those spots, actually finding like mature animals. So that is the goal. You always want to find, big mature bulls or bucks, and lots of them. And most of these spots that I've put up already have had pretty good results. But we're also going to take you to a different spot I've never been to before, show you why I picked it, and then put a trail camera up and see how it does throughout the year, and we'll kind of see how together if it's going to be worth hunting or not. Hopefully it will be. I'm curious to see how it's going to look. It's kind of similar to the other spots we're hitting today because we're all kind of going in the same direction, but we'll see what happens. And it's good to get out. Sorry guys for having been posting. It's just life gets in the way. I've been working a lot, so it's going to be good the next couple weeks. Hoping to pump out some videos because I got a lot of work to do. Fall season's coming pretty fast, so got to get all these trail cameras out, kind of take inventory on all the deer and elk, and kind of figure out where I'm going to be hunting this fall. So hope you guys enjoy the video.
Spot number 1, and this is an all too familiar spot for me because this is where I killed my first buck when I first moved to Idaho. So I've usually gotten some pretty good deer on camera in here. It's super foggy right now, and it's only about 5:30 in the morning, and you can see I'm still a little tired, but got a little hike in here, and then we're actually going to do something a little different. This piece of land is not huge, but I put trail cameras on that side, I put trail cameras on this side, and I've always noticed that when I was on this side, the deer were coming from my direction from here over there, and if I put trail cameras on that side, then they're coming from here to there. So I've kind of narrowed it down, and I think their bedding is kind of crossed here, and so we're going to go down this old logging road and get kind of close to where I believe they're bedding and where they're coming out of. So we're going to get a little closer this year and see if we can't get some more mature bucks in daytime and get some pictures of them. So it might be something dead down there too. I keep seeing all these ravens. So, but yeah, let's get going. It's kind of chilly this morning for being July. It is not that warm up here. All right, see you in a few. Oh, there's a little buck. There's a bigger one with him. That is always a good sign. I couldn't see really what the bigger one was, but they didn't blow out of here, so that's good. Okay, I think we found our spot. I am soaked to the bone. You'd never think. I feel like I'm back in spring turkey hunting again. Jeez, clear up past my knee. Oh, there they go. There's a whole bunch of them. Whew, dang it. Hard to get any footage of them, but there's about 6 or 7. Right as I stood up, they just all went. So this is a good spot right here. I kind of figured it would be. So back behind me, this is an edge, a little bit of a ridge that goes down. There's all these trails popping out everywhere. I'm gonna kind of go over and take a peek at where they were heading up, and maybe there's a good spot over there, but I think I'm gonna stay on this edge. It's just tough in here just because it's hard to find a tree to either get a stand in or get my saddle in, because the ones that you can get the saddle in, it's like wide open, and the ones you can get a tree stand in, there's a lot of trimming because of all the pines. But we're just gonna take a little peek over and see where they were standing at, and maybe they stopped up there, although I'm not being the quietest. Oh, it opens up a lot over here. Man, just a 20 yards and it's like completely open. Nice little meadow. No sign of the deer, but they were right here, right in the middle of this really wide open stuff. The only problem, I mean, there's a couple of trees I could get a stand in, but not a whole lot. And I hate being completely out in the open like this, but you never know. This might be the key. I'm just very used to hunting mature deer and getting them in thicker stuff. Like that tree's not bad for getting a stand in, but there's a lot of trimming I would have to do. I mean, you'd only have to be about 12 feet up, but still. Well, it's a good looking spot over here, but I just think it's a little too open. That's the only thing that bothers me. So I'm going to, that edge kind of looks good too, but it's the same thing. It's not a whole lot of trees I can get my tree stand in, or my saddle. So I think we're gonna stay on this side. At least the nice thing is like once we get up in the tree, we should be able to see all this flat stuff, and we should be able to see them coming, which would be cool because most of my spots you can't do that in. So I'm gonna head back to where I want to put the camera and get out of here. I went a lot further than I thought I was going to, and that's partly because what I found was this little hidden ridge, which is pretty cool because there's not a whole lot of topography in here. It's a pretty flat area, but the only problem is there just was absolutely no way I was going to be able to sneak in there and get in there nice and stealthy. So, you know, it could be a great spot, but if you can't hunt it properly, there's no point. Alright, I got a little ways to the trail camera. Turn the camera back on when I get over there. Alright guys, so I got the camera all set up, ready to go. Always make sure you pack something to cut brush around the trail camera, because this tree would not have worked unless I would have had something to cut it with. I either pack my Human saw, or however you want to call it, and then I also pack a good set of clippers, usually the same ones that I pack around while I'm turkey hunting. But anyways, so this is all set up, pretty much ready to go. As of right now, like, I don't really care about getting a ton of pictures. I just want to know inventory. So when I put this up, I'm putting it up at like a picture every minute instead of like every like 15-20 seconds, like if I was actually looking at something coming down. I decided, because this spot's a little different, I'm gonna put one for every minute, and then I'm actually gonna have it facing a little higher. Most of the time I like to have my cameras about hip height, the way I get everything. But because of the topography here, it goes up in elevation a little bit. This is about shoulder height, and that way it's gonna pick up stuff a little bit more in the background. Just in case a buck doesn't walk this edge, but he walks out there a little bit, like those deer were doing, I'll still get him on trail camera. So that'll be good. Other than that, I think this spot's good to go. It's gonna be an interesting one. I have a tree pretty much right here that I can get a stand in. That's gonna be some work. So set this guy, and then we're gonna get out of here, go to spot number 2. So we're at spot number 2. I'm not going to take the camera actually in to the camera. The camera's already out, and I'm going to have to beat some brush to actually get back there. So there's no point in taking the camera. But I will throw up a kind of an example of why I picked this place right now. And so this is a hard edge, is what I call it. And this is a little different spot because there's no agricultural around, or there's no real big clear cuts, but I know there's mature deer in the area, and all I want to do is find the corridors, the travel corridors. Now, I've noticed the last couple years hunting this area, they're going to use it during early season and late season, so same corridor. There's not a whole lot of elevation change here, so it works pretty well. I've gotten some big bucks on camera, had some encounters back here, very frustrating. Should have killed the biggest buck of my life back here, but just didn't happen. But this year, hopefully he's still around. This will be the third year hunting him, so I'm really hoping he's doing well. I think I had pictures of him in the spring, and I think I saw him in the spring, but I only got a glance of him back here when I was turkey hunting. So but like I said, I got quite a walk ahead of me and beating some brush, so we'll get back there, and then when I come back out, we'll head to spot number 3, which is the new spot, and we'll see how it does. So see you then. It to spot number 3, and when I walked in here, it's not too hard of a walk, and I just thought, man, there's probably a lot of people back here. It's probably pretty easy, but might as well check it out because it might be overlooked. And I'm walking this edge, and you can see the trail right here. Pretty good, it's not great. But then it comes out into this little tiny meadow, and there's some really good trails coming. Like you can see this edge and everything right here. Like they're coming out of there. It's hard to see with this grass, but they are using it, and there's a really good trail coming this way. So I look over, and I'm just kind of taking a rest, and look what I see. And this just makes me feel a lot better about putting a camera up here and seeing what's out here, because I think if anybody were to walk through here, I mean, that'd be pretty easy to see. So we're gonna go pick it up. It's nothing big. I already kind of looked at it, but let's see here. Just a little 3-point, no eye guard, older. It's been out here for a while. Still got frost on it from this morning, but hey, I'll take an antler whenever I can get it. That's awesome though. That just tells me right now that there's nobody back here, and that's really what I want. So sun's finally coming out. Doesn't matter, I'm all wet anyways, busting brush. You'd think this is sweat, but it's really just water on all the plants and trees. But yeah, we're gonna get the camera set up, and then I'll kind of show you on the topo map why I picked this spot, and then we'll go from there. So I'm gonna go over a couple little tiny tips before I show you guys on the topo map. So I got the camera all set out here. I'm using the old stick to kind of balance it and get it where I want. And one thing I see a lot of when I'm out in the woods and I find a trail camera, the reason why I find it is because they let their straps sit there and dangle in the wind. You want to make sure that that's wrapped around the tree and tucked away, for one, so hunters don't see it, and then two, the deer and elk don't see it. I mean, if they see that, they're definitely gonna know what's up. Most of the time they smell it anyways, but you don't want anything spooking them or giving them any more reason not to come in. So that's one thing. Also, a tip that it's simple, and I know a lot of you guys already know, but for the beginners of trail cameras and stuff, so you don't want to be putting this east and west, like pointing east or west. That means we're going to get glare otherwise. So you want it pointed north or south. That way it's pointed either down the trail or whatever you want. This one's going to be pointing north towards this nice little meadow that I got here. So like, I'm not gonna have to worry about glare or anything like that. I mean, we set a camera out to get good pictures. You don't want the camera to end up taking crummy pictures, or you're not being able to tell when that big buck or bull comes in, like what it looks like. So we're gonna throw the topo map up there right now, and then I'm gonna kind of show you why I picked this spot. So this is another kind of similar to the other two spots that I've went to today. It's a hard edge. There is agriculture nearby, but I've noticed that the agriculture, it does have cows in it. So I'm especially deer hunting, I hate cattle. I love cows otherwise, but I hate cattle. Man, they're just such a pain, and they always end up screwing my hunts up. I've had them screw up private property hunts and a couple different times. So like, I know that there's probably deer hanging out over there, but as what I've noticed, the deer don't really like the cows. They kind of stay away from them, and makes sense. I mean, cows are kind of
bullies, and you know, they're big and cumbersome, and they don't really want to tussle with something that big. So I've seen elk not really care about cattle, but the deer I've noticed don't really like them. So as you can see, basically it's just a nice clean edge, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for stuff that's been cut and was either a clear cut at one point or just cleared out, and then the next part over just thick, nice bedding. So it also kind of gives you a different array of habitats, and the more habitats you can kind of have in an area, usually the more deer you're going to find, because there's going to be deer in every one of those habitats. They might use it all day, but I've noticed, like, if I find a swamp next to meadows, and then it runs into agriculture, and then runs into hardwoods, like, that's money. Like, that's exactly what I want. And I'm going to end up trying to put a trail camera in those travel corridors going from each habitat. So that's pretty much what I'm always looking for on e-scouting. That's kind of what I look for. Even with elk hunting, I look at clear cuts. I look at that kind of stuff as well, just because they're always you basically are looking for food at that point. So if you guys have stuck with me through the most of this video, I thank you. I know I'm rambling on a lot. There's nothing too exciting for, you know, to watch. There's just a little shed and all that kind of stuff, but I hope you guys are learning something. I know a lot of guys already know all this stuff, but you know, for the new guys that are just beginning, this is good information. I wish somebody would have told me, and I wish I would have found somebody that I could watch back when I was doing all this stuff. So and if you guys have stuck with me this long, I had an amazing day the other day on the 3rd of July, and I went out and did some elk scouting, and I found some great sheds. Hopefully that video will be out soon. I still got to edit it, but if you guys stick around and subscribe, you know, make sure to go watch that one. Hopefully I'll have it done in a couple days. I got to go back to work, so hopefully I can get it done. And I really appreciate everybody. We're almost to 2,000 subscribers, and it's pretty awesome. I know there was a time there where I just didn't really upload anything, and I've been trying really hard to upload a lot, and just life gets in the way sometimes. So I'm still gonna try to get out as much as possible. This is the time where I do a lot of my prep work for the season, so I'll try to bring you guys along just in case I find something cool. Like last week, I had a great day, and I'm glad I brought the camera. So check that video out, guys, and thanks for watching, and keep living that uphill lifestyle.